My name is Mark, and welcome to folks online. Feel free to say hi in the chat or comment if you have any questions. Is this anyone's first time to the Dharma Bum Temple? Okay, hi, welcome. Good to have you. Anyone's first time to Zen, to this class, this meeting? Yeah. Okay, great. Welcome. Anyone's first time doing Zen meditation? Okay. So the format of this class is typically it seems like everyone has practiced Zen. I'm not sure about online. But I'll give a very high-level overview of sitting Zen meditation. And then ring the bell 3 times to start a 20-minute meditation, silent meditation. And then we'll take about a 10-minute break from meditating to talk about that. And then another 15 to 20 minute meditation before the end. So since this is a Zen style meditation, I won't be giving a guided talk. So Zen meditation is silent. So we're responsible for basically our own attention, because you could spend 20 minutes just daydreaming, and that's really not meditating. So the whole idea is just coming back to the present moment, in the here and now. You're going to have thoughts, they're going to pop up. The whole idea of Zen meditation is to not chase those thoughts. As best as possible, come back to your breath. Some people choose to count on their to 10. On their count 1 on your in-breath, and then 2 and so on. And if you get lost on what number you're on, just go back to 1 and not beat yourself up. That's another key component, is to not be judgmental of yourself in your meditation. If you do get lost in thought, as soon as you're aware of, oh, I'm lost in thought, I had a busy day. We all have busy days. We all get lost in thought. It's going to happen, most likely. You just come back to the present moment and focus on your breath. Another important aspect of pretty much any type of meditation is your posture. If you're sitting in a chair, you're welcome to take a little cushion, zafu. If not, that's fine. It's helpful to, if possible, to not have the back support. I know it's tempting to have back support, but to sit up a little bit in your chair and to straighten your posture. Not have it too rigid, but just, a nice straight back as much as possible for you. And to just have your head in alignment with your shoulders and your head straight ahead. So the idea is to have your gaze focus downward about 45 degrees with your eyes open. So that's another unique thing with Zen meditations. We typically leave our eyes open just about 25% or so, So if you're looking at someone, you almost might not notice that their eyes are slightly open. But with a gaze downward, and it's tempting when you're gazing downward to move your head down like that, but the key is to keep your head in alignment, but just have your gaze focused downward. And then just think of a string. On the top of the crown of your head, a string pulling up to the sky or to the ceiling. So the other idea too is your palms, you can put them on your lap. Common hand posture it's called the cosmic mudra, and it's just having your right palm, your left fingers resting on in your right palm, and then your thumbs lightly touching. And I believe the main aspect with this is to keep you alert. So you'll notice if your mind is wandering and your thumbs tend to collapse. So, and when you notice that, again, gently, just bring your thumbs back together. What else? I talked about the thoughts, the breathing, the posture. Those are some of the main aspects of Zen meditation. And so just a reminder, it's about 20 minutes, and focusing on the here and now, on your breath, on this moment. You're going to hear sounds outside. And it's just being present in the moment. And okay, we'll get started. Any questions on that? Oh, all right. I'm always tempted to say welcome back, but you should already be present, so welcome, eyes wide open. How's that? Feel free to stretch, move about. Anybody have any questions or comments about their experience practicing meditation? If there's anyone online who would like to share, feel free to put a comment in the chat.
Is there an angle for your gaze that's kind of been agreed upon as a standard?
So, yeah, with that, the question was, is there an angle for your gaze? And what I've heard and read is about approximately 45-degree angle with your gazing downward. Does that help? The tricky thing for me is to keep my head at a, what is this angle, 90-degree angle? Like straight ahead? But with the gaze, a downward gaze. Any other questions or comments? Okay. So I had one thing I thought about was I'm taking a class right now with the New York Zen Center, and one of the books, it's called Fundamental Foundations in Contemplative Care, and one of the books required reading is titled Untangled by Koshin Paley Ellison, who's a New York Zen Center priest and one of the teachers. And so the book, a common refrain in the book is about like everything is a place of practice. So, because we often think, oh, I'm going to sit and meditate at home or go to the Dharma temple and sit and meditate with the group for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or however long. And that's practice, okay? So in this book, Untangled, every chapter he ends it with whatever the topic was of the chapter, that this is a place of practice. So he gives examples of just different life situations, and whether it's work or home or family, friends, world events or whatnot. And all of this stuff is a place of practice. So it's taking the Zen, taking the zazen, taking your meditation practice off the cushion, they say, taking your practice off the cushion. So one of the in one of the chapters he says, how do you cultivate a tender inquiry into your daily experience? I'll read it again. How do you cultivate a tender inquiry into your daily experience? Now, I have this on my refrigerator, and I've been looking at it and contemplating it for like a week or so now. And I just love the words cultivate. How often do we use that word cultivate? You think of like cultivating plants and how you take care of, relationships you might cultivate. And I love the word tender. You don't hear that very often. how often do we hear the word tender or even think about it? At least me, I like inquiry into your daily experience. So a lot of, it's like being awake to what's going on. And I'll if people want to share, but I have one example and then I'll open it up, and this is just one of many examples, and it just happened today where I just got a new dishwasher because the other one was on the blitz, and it wasn't working, and I thought, I just bought this dishwasher, and how can it not be working? And so I just had a light went off of that. Oh, I wonder if my, what's it called? The circuit breaker is flipped or something. So I went out along the side of the house and I flipped the circuit breaker and it came back in and it's working. But I don't know, in a short period of time, I started thinking, oh man, maybe I didn't really need a new dishwasher. What an idiot. How stupid. Because I didn't try that before. I didn't go with the other dishwasher. I didn't test the circuit breaker. And so I started thinking about that. Oh God. You wasted your money. How could you be so thoughtless? You're supposed to be practicing Zen. You're not being very mindful. It's like I had this crazy, self-berating thoughts in my head. And then I saw this on my refrigerator. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not really cultivating tender inquiry into my daily experience. And so I just started thinking, you know what? It's okay. You may have needed a new dishwasher anyways because the other one was several years old. And so I just started kind of like turning it around a little bit and being like, it's okay. I'm grateful that I have a house and that I have a dishwasher. So I started kind of like looking at it a little differently. I don't know. So that's just one example of, trying to like cultivate a tender inquiry into our everyday experiences. And so I've been trying to look at these kind of things where I have negative self-talk and chatter that happens in my head throughout the day. Anyhow, I think that's all I had to say about that. But if anybody has any examples on that, like how do you cultivate a tender inquiry into your daily experiences?
I think one of the most difficult places for me emotionally in San Diego is traffic in the morning early. And the same language you use, but externalized. How could that person be so thoughtless? But then, lately I've really been trying to remind myself that every one of those people is probably just as unhappy about that situation. And if someone is doing something, they're probably more unhappy for it, and it's for them that we should feel, not just anger, but compassion. So it's trying to remind myself of those situations.
Great, thank you. I don't know if everyone online heard, but it was an example of San Diego traffic and turning around frustration into compassion. You're fortunate to be able to be aware of that and to turn that around because
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But hey, We'll take a win when we can, like the Padres, huh? That was such a good game last night. Okay. Anybody else have any comments? Just something to think about. I think sometimes Zen can be so like, at least I can tend to think Zen is like this sort of mysterious, like make more of it than it is, but it can be very practical. I like to think of the practical aspects of Zen. Yes.
How much sitting is too much sitting?
How much what?
How much sitting is too much sitting?
How much sitting is too much sitting?
Because
wow, good question.
I mean, zazen is going into the moment without, conjuring up goals and things that we're trying to achieve.
Right.
But in the very long retreats, the 10-day retreats, is sitting for 10 days straight in itself kind of very goal-oriented, or is it an exception in that sense because you're cultivating mindfulness? What's the balance?
It's 10 days, very goal-oriented.
For example.
I mean, I think it can be. I think some people walk away from a 10-day with. The question was how much sitting, meditation.
How much meditation
is. I mean, and is 10 days like overdoing it, or can? For me, I started meditating in 2000, and I was introduced to meditation through AA. And at that time, I was meditating for 1 minute. I did 60 seconds, and I was like, wow. I sat still for 60 seconds and tried to just focus on my breath. So it really depends on the person and where each person is individually. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I think that probably the typical Zen practitioner, like lay practitioner, not in a monastery, maybe does 30 minutes. I know most Zen centers do 30 minutes of meditation, or they'll do 30 minutes and then a 5 or 10 minute walking meditation and then 30 more minutes. So that's my goal is 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. And I have been on several 7-day, they're called sashins or retreats, where they ring the bell at 5 in the morning and you're on your cushion at like before 6 a.m. And it's pretty much meditation, sitting and walking meditation all day long, and then meals, some work practice around the Zen center or monastery. So it depends. You could do 10 days of meditation retreat, and it depends on what that 10 days is, and what's going on in that period. So, and it depends on the person. Some people love it. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Those long retreats, it's like, oh my God, when are they ringing the bell? So, because the place that I've been to, it's 40 minutes of, each session is 40 minutes of meditation, which can be quite a while. So, I don't know if that's a long answer.
No, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Wow, what time is it? Oh, okay, 7:43. So let's do. Vicki, you need like 3 minutes. Or Okay, so let's do 50, like maybe 13 minutes or so. A common way to close in Zen centers is reading this transfer of merit. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to put an end to them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to master them. The Buddha's way is unattainable. I vow to attain it. Thanks everybody for coming, and if you could stay for a couple minutes, Vicki has some closing or some announcements.
Yeah, just closing announcement. Hello everyone, I'm Vicki. I'm Francois. We opened the Domann Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and they're not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you are finished. If you could please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out, and if a couple people could stay and help close and latch the windows, that would be helpful. Thank